Harihi Om Tat Sat Sri Narayanarpanamastu. Om Tat Sat. Namo Namaha. Hello. Suswagadam. Welcome. So, we began the journey in the wonderful kingdom of Ayodhya, and we witnessed the birth of the four Purushas. Narayana taking the form of Rama, Adishesha taking the form of Lakshmana, Shank taking the form of Bharata, and Chakra taking the form of Shatrugna. Surya was born as Sugriva, Indra was born as Vali, Vishwakarma, the celestial architect, was born as Nala, and Agnideva was born as Nila. And of course, Lord Shiva incarnated as the wonderful Hanuman. There are other devas who played a role. Like for example, today I'll be talking about Jambavan and Sampati, how they are also incarnations, but their true identity was kept suppressed. So, from Balakandam in Ayodhya, we then witnessed what happened during the Ayodhya Kandam, leading up to the coronation of Rama, whereupon the Rajya Abhishekam, which was planned for Rama, was moved to Bharata, and both never took place. Bharata was ruling Ayodhya from Nandigrama outside Ayodhya. Yesterday I took you deep into the forest of Aranya. Aranya Kandam, we looked at the adventures that took place in the forest, right? Involving Rama, Lakshmana, Sita, the wonderful Bakshi Jatayu, and then of course the entrance of the Asura, Surpanaka, and then of course Khara, Ravana, Maricha, and the abduction of Sita to Lanka. Today, we are looking at the desperate and the aggrieved Rama after, in a state of total despondency, how he coped with the absence of Sita and how Lakshmana helped Rama in times of his sadness and solitariness, and of course their journey after they made their journey to Lake Pamba, Pamba Nadil, Sabariyai sanditha pin, Sabari enna sonnanga? Sabari said, go to Rishyamukagiri. Ange Vanaragal உமக்கு காத்திருப்பார்கள். So Lake Pamba and Sabari is important. Even today, it is famous for Lord Ayyappan. And Ayyappan is a Purna Brahmachari, right? In keeping with Rishi, the Tapaswini Shabari. So that's why it's called Shabari Mala, to the holy Shabari hills. The Lake Pampa, where Rama, Lakshmana had a bath. They ate in Shabari's ashrama, gave mukti to Shabari, and then Shabari, before she attained mukti, she told them how to and where to go, and then she attained mukti, and Rama and Lakshmana now continue to the Kishkinda kingdom, Kishkinda Rajyam. Kishkinda is actually a kingdom in a cave, so you actually cannot access it in any other way except through a huge dwara, which is the entrance into the cave. So they arrived there. But before I start on the Kishkinda Kandam, I need to tell you the importance or the significance of this Kandam. right? Firstly, the Kandam is important because it introduces Sugriva into the picture. Who is Sugriva? He is the brother of Vali. Who is Vali? He is the brother of Sugriva. Vali is the king of the Kishkinda kingdom. Okay? Secondly, more significantly, Rama meeting Rama Bhakta, Rama Tuda, Rama Dasa, Anjaneya. How he meets Hanuman. And the first meeting between Hanuman and Rama. Okay? Hanuman did not go in the form of Hanuman. Right? And there's a significance for that. Anyway. The third thing is Rama's helping Sugriva to kill Vali. This is very important because there's a lot of confusion here. Because a lot of people have asked me, right? Even an English professor of theology asked me, he says, you say Rama is a man of principles, but then how principled is one who kills from a distance, hiding behind a tree and not engaging in warfare directly? That's the same question many people ask. எப்படி ராமா மறைவாக நின்று வாலியை வதம் செய்யலாம்? அதுக்கு ஒரு காரணம் கூறுங்கள். அந்த மாதிரி கேட்குறாங்க. They are asking, how can Rama, being a Maryada Purushottama, being a Dharma Purusha, how can he be adharmic like that? If he fights directly and he kills, is a different matter. Here, Vali and Sugriva Yuddham, they are both fighting. How can Rama hiding behind a tree? That's not right. That's not Dharma. So I will explain what is the significance of that. Right? Nothing happens in vain. For everything there is, one, a scientific reason, and two, a spiritual reason. When you connect the science to spirituality, right? ஆன்மீகத்தையும் விஞ்ஞானத்தையும் சேர்த்தாதான் உங்களுக்கு அந்த ஞானம் பிறக்கும். So, let's see now what happens. And then of course, Sugriva's Raja Abhishekam. Once Vali is killed, somebody needs to ascend the throne of Kishkinda. Therefore, Sugriva is made the king. And in return, Sugriva promises, I will help you look for Mother Sita. Okay, and then what happens? What happens when we are in a comfortable zone? You know, they say this word, comfort zone. Have you heard of this word, comfort zone? What happens? When you are in a comfort zone, nothing moves. சுகமான ஒரு ராஜபோக்கிய ஒரு வாழ்க்கை வந்தா நம்ம எதுவும் செய்ய மாட்டோம், அதிலே அடங்கிடுவோம். So Sugriva forgot his promise to Rama and he carried on. But that was the time of Varsha Ritu. Varsha Ritu is what we call in English as monsoon. Monsoon season. You know, of course, in the jungles, there's monsoon season, you can't do much. So there was a time period where they didn't do anything, right? They waited for the rainy season to be over. And that's the time Rama and Lakshmana, you know, became very close and inseparable actually, which is why during the Yuddha Kandam, when Lakshmana got hit by Meghanada's, you know, power, and he was out, down and out, Rama was inconsolable. Then of course, Lakshmana goes and threatens to destroy the kingdom of Kishkinda if Sugriva does not live up to his promise. So Lakshmana says, my brother didn't ask you for help. You promised to help him. Now you have forgotten and you are enjoying your life while my brother is suffering. I will destroy this kingdom with one arrow. Whereupon Tara, the wife of Vali, killed by Rama. Just in case I forget, remind me what Tara said when Rama killed Vali. Okay, just in case, because I may go off to different things. So Sugriva then relents and says, okay, I promised to help. I'm so sorry. I will now help. He calls all his troops. He says, Chaturdasha, go the 4 directions, north, west, east and south. He says, Hanuman, Angada, Nala, Jambavan, Suprida, Duryodha, all of you go south. I give you 15 days to find Mother Sita, bring back her or bring back news of where she is. This was Sugriva's instructions, and he sent. Over lakhs of monkeys went looking. Right? And I explained to you why man and monkey were together in this quest to go and kill Ravana, the most powerful person. Right? And during the Yuddha Kandam, I'll tell you what could kill Ravana. Nothing could kill him except because all his power was based in one spot in his body. And unless you hit that spot, you can't kill him. Then, of course, what happens is they are faced with the Indian Ocean. And that's where the Kishkinda Kandam ends and Sundara Kandam begins. Sundara Kandam is all about the exploitation and the travel adventures of Lord Hanuman. I say Lord Hanuman. Another significance of Hanuman is even a monkey can attain the status of God, because the monkey controlled its monkey mind and developed its spiritual self to a level equal to the Purusha. So it attained the status of godhood. So what is that telling us, Manushas? Manusha Janma is next to Purusha Janma. The closest you can get to getting into the practice of serving God. Bhaja Govindam, serve God. Bhaja Govindam, seek God. Because therein lies your salvation. Everything lies at the feet. Charanagati, Purna Charanagati. And I explained to you the difference between Charanagati and Purna Charanagati. அதாவது சரணாகதிக்கும் பூர்ண சரணாகதிக்கும் என்ன வித்தியாசம்னு நான் சொல்லியிருக்கேன். அதுக்கு ஒரு எடுத்துக்காட்டாகவும் திரௌபதியை பற்றி சொன்னேன். நான் எப்படி திரௌபதி சரணாகதி நிலையில் இருந்தாங்க, பூர்ண சரணாகதி நிலையில் இல்லைன்னு. அதாவது பரமாத்மா, கிருஷ்ண பரமாத்மா அவர்கிட்ட சொன்னான் அப்புறமா. So we have to surrender and we have to give total surrender. Otherwise the surrender is pointless. It's not going to get us from one stage to another stage. Surrender. So let us start. So Rama and Lakshmana now move from Pampa river after doing the final rites for Shabari. Soul goes up. Rama blesses Sabari as a holy hill, and until today it is a holy hill. Sabarimala is very, very famous. Right? That is where Lord Ayyappan is. And devotees go in January and in April. Right? Maybe on another occasion I'll talk about Lord Ayyappan. Another fantastic energy. All these God forms are energies. You yourself are vibrating at one level of energy. They are vibrating at another level of energy. Your job in this Manusha Janma is to raise your energy and merge with them. Because you are Jivatma and they are Paramatma, and the purpose of life is to merge. Jivatma must merge with Paramatma. That is why you look in all the temples, right? You will see in front of the Moolasthanam, Garudalvar is there. Garuda is there. He is facing. If you look at Shiva, who is facing him? Yeah, Rishabha. Pashu, Pati. So Shiva is known as Pashupati. Right? Garuda, Narayana. Garuda Vahana, Narayana. So we must look at God as though we are the vehicles of that God. So what must we do as a vehicle? What is the job of your vehicle? Is to carry you, correct? To where you want to go. But for you to drive that vehicle, the vehicle must be complete, right? It must have the 4 tires, it must have everything, must be, and it must have, what must it have inside? It must have petrol or diesel. Otherwise it won't move. So what is the petrol or diesel that you must have for you to carry Narayana, for you to carry Durga, for you to carry Lakshmi, for you to carry Saraswati, for you to carry Saravana, for you to carry Shiva, for you to carry Anjaneya? What is the petrol or diesel that you must have in this vehicle, in this Vahana? What is it that you must have? And I told you, Deho, Devalayam. Deho means body. Devalayam means the word Alayam. Alayam na enna? Alayam na வந்து ஆத்மாவுக்கு எடுத்துக்காட்டு. லயம்னா என்ன? ஸ்ருதி சேருதுன்னு சொல்லுவாங்களே. So Alayam is a place where your Atma becomes layam with the God. What a beautiful thing, Alayam. So every time you come to temple, and the Alayam nadakudanu neenga kekkano. You have to ask yourself, is this compatibility happening each time I come to temple? Is the Jivatma seeking the Paramatma in the right way? So what is the diesel or petrol that you should have in your body? It starts with B. The word Bhakti. Bhakti means devotion. Krishna says in chapter 4 of Bhagavad Gita, there are 4 ways you can serve God. Right? Jnana Yoga, Raja Yoga, Karma Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga. And he says, idu vandu Kali Yugam. This is Kali Yuga. Which of the 4 ways is easiest for you to reach God? எந்த வழி மிக சுலபமானது ஆண்டவனை அடையறதுக்கு இந்த கலியுகத்தில்? ராஜயோகா, ஞான யோகா, பக்தி யோகா, கர்ம யோகா, இந்த 4 யோகங்கள் இருக்கிறது. And Krishna tells Arjuna, Bhakti Yoga. And then he says, Bhakti Yogaல 9 வழிகள் இருக்கு. ஒரு வழியை நீ தேர்ந்தெடுத்துக்க. He says, within Bhakti Yoga, there is 9 parts. It's called Navavida Bhakti. Now you choose one path and you seek God. See, I give you an example. To come to this temple in East Ham, is there only one way? Have all of us come to this temple in the same way today? Have we all taken the same amount of time to come today? We all have come from different directions, yes? From different addresses, postcodes, areas. And we have come to one point, that is this temple. Have we all used the same path? No, but we have arrived at the same place. To reach God, there are many paths. Which path is suitable for you? Which path is appropriate for you? That is the path that you should take. My path is Jnana Yoga. His path may be Bhakti Yoga. Brother's path may be Karma Yoga. And uncle's path may be Raja Yoga. Through meditation, and I told you, Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. And you have seen the Acharyas like Raghavendra, Ramana Maharishi, Vivekananda, how they go into meditation and they merge. Shankaracharya just open the Sahasrara. So you start. Ravana is actually described as the Kundalini Shakti which is in your Mooladhara Chakra. He is coiled like a snake. So the first thing you must do in the chakra science is release the coil so that the energy of the Mooladhara begins, so you can realize the Kundalini Shakti. And every chakra in your body has got a deity protecting that. So you must pray to that deity who will then open the gates for you to go. So Mooladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipura, Anahata, Vishuddha, Agnya, Sahasrara, 7 chakras. Everyone. And Mooladhara, who is the protector? Who is the gatekeeper? Who is the security guard? Mooladhara Chakrathukku yaru Moolakadavul? இவரதான் நம்ம எந்த பூஜை செய்தாலும் இவரதான் முதல்ல நம்ம தொழுகிறது. Who is that? Big boss. அது எப்படின்னா, there is when the acharyas are doing abhishekam or when they are praying to Ganapati, they always recite something called Ganapati Adharva Shirsham. Ganapati is God, Adharva is the Rishi Adharva. Shirsham is what you can see with your eyes. So Ganapati appeared before Rishi Adharva and said to him, this is what you have to recite. And in that sloka or in that stotram, there is one part which says, Tvam moolhadarastithosi nityam, Tvam shaktitrayatmakaha, Tvam, you, yogino, all the yogis, dhyayanti nityam, always meditating on you. Tvam brahmastvam vishnustvam rudrastvam indrastvam agnistvam vayustvam suryastvam chandramastvam brahma bhuva suvarom. How wonderful is that? So, pray to Ganapati, Mooladhara will awaken. Then only you go up to Swadhisthana, Manipura, Anahata, Vishuddha, Ajna and Sugriva means what? Su means auspicious, Griva means throat. So you have Sugriva, you have Hayagriva. The Hayagriva mantra you have. Jnananandamayam devam nirmalar spatikha trudhim adharam sarva vidyanam hayagrivam upasmahe. Throat. Sugriva's throat, the chakra, is fully realized. That is why he can do no adharma in terms of speech. And that is why he was connected to Rama. Because like energy attracts like. Okay, so from Lake Pamba, Rama and Lakshmana start walking, and they reach the outskirts of Kishkinda, where Sugriva is sitting there, and he can see the two new strangers. They look like Brahmin rishis. They are coming this way. Before that, I have to tell you the story why Sugriva was in the cave hiding. Now, the Kishkinda kingdom, when the ruler died, Bali was made the king. Bali was made the king and Sugriva was serving him and everything was okay. Right? Then what happened? There was an Asura or an Asuri called Mayavi. Mayavi, she came and she challenged Bali to a duel. So Bali accepted. Bali also has got a bone. He is inconquerable. So he was not afraid of anybody at any time. Those days the adharma was, if you don't accept somebody's challenge, then it's adharmic. So every challenge had to be accepted. So he accepted and they were fighting. And they were fighting, they went into the cave. And Sugriva also went along and he was just waiting. 1 year passed, 13 months passed. No sign of Bali coming out. So Sugriva assumed that he has died in the fight. He goes back to the kingdom because the kingdom has no king. 1 year they had no king. So he went back, and to install law and order and to maintain decorum, he became the king and he was ruling. On the 14th month, right? Vali defeated Mayavi, killed her after 14 months, and he broke the roof of the cave and he came out. When he came back to his kingdom, in the palace he saw Sugriva ruling. He was angry. He thought Sugriva had betrayed him and taken the kingdom, declaring him dead. So he beat him up, chased him out of the kingdom, and he says, if I ever see you anywhere, I will kill you. And he also abducted Mura, who was Sugriva's wife, and Sugriva's son, and he imprisoned them. So he became the ruler. So Sugriva was always in hiding, thinking that if anybody sees him and they inform Vali, he will be killed. So he was hiding there. He thought maybe, Sugriva thought maybe Vali has sent somebody, these people, to find me and to deal with me. So he says, who does he call? He calls Hanuman, his most trusted minister. You see, when Hanuman is first introduced, Hanuman does not realize his own powers. He is a mere monkey. It is only later when Jambavan comes into the picture. Jambavan is actually Brahma. He became, Jambavan is the, Jambavan, who is Jambavan yaru? Jambavan solluvom nama. Jambavan is the king of the bears. Bear. That is actually Brahma in the form of Jambavan. Right? And Brahaspati is Sampati. So they all play a role. He sends Hanuman, can you go and see if these are genuine people? Maybe they are my brother's spies sent to kill me. So Hanuman looked at them and said, they don't look like that, but anyway I will go and check. So Hanuman goes, but Hanuman wants to find out who they are. So he doesn't go as a monkey. Hanuman changes himself as though he is a Brahmin. He goes as a Brahmana. So he goes and he asks in such a prose, beautiful language he asks. A beautiful face with the beautiful feet in a beautiful land. Why, one wonders. And Rama says, how beautifully put. So that is their first exchange. Beauty was their first exchange. That is why Hanuman's devotion, his bhakti itself is so beautiful. So everything is filled with beauty as far as Hanuman is and Rama is concerned. So then Rama says why they have come, who he is. I am Rama, son of Dasharatha. This is my brother Lakshmana. We are from the Rama Rajya, the Raghukula Vamsa. Right? We are representatives of Raja, Bharata Raja. See how he talks of his brother. Bharata Raja is ruling the kingdom. We have come in search of my wife Sita. And we met Shabari in Pamba. And she has told us to come and ask for your help. So they explained பண்ணாங்க. உங்களை ஏன் நாங்கள் நாடி வந்திருக்கோம். Then Hanuman says, okay, come, I will take you to Sugriva. So they meet Sugriva. You see, Rama's situation, Sita was abducted. Rama was chased into the forest, correct? Sugriva, he was also chased from the throne into the forest, and what has Vali done? He has taken Sugriva's wife. So they both share the same sad tale of being separated from the one they love. So automatically they connected. And Sugriva said, Sugriva is one who is gifted with the divine vision. So he can see far distances. He said, I remember a beautiful princess being carried by an ugly man, flying in the skies, and she dropped something and it just fell in front of me. So Rama says, can I have a look at it? What is it? What is it? So Sugriva goes and brings a little bundle, a little package. Sugriva brings and he shows Rama. Rama says, this is Sita silk. This is what she was wearing. Oh my God. He opens it, there is some jewelry and all that. So he says, Lakshmana, come here, look at this. Can you confirm this is Sita's, isn't it? Lakshmana looks at it and he says, I can confirm the anklet. You know anklet? Salangai. I can confirm the anklet belongs to the legs of Sita. Right? When I was giving this talk in Birmingham once, there was one uncle there, he asked me the question, are you saying that Lakshmana was looking at Sita's legs? So he could identify that is. I said, Lakshmana used to do Pada Namaskaram every day to Sita, and he was touching her feet. When he touched her feet, he always touched the anklet because he liked the sound. So he'll touch the anklet, touch the feet, touch the anklet, touch the feet every day. Pada Namaskaram அவர் தெரிஞ்சுக்கிட்டாரு, அதுதான் சீதா மாதாவோட சலங்கைன்னு. ஆனால் மனுஷால் நம்ம எப்படி யோசிக்கிறோம்? அல்பத்தனமா. We always have a choice. Either you think, I told you, every action has two consequences. One, it gives you punya palanai tarum, or it gives you pavam, pava palanai tarum. எது நீங்க செய்தாலும், எது நீங்க யோசித்தாலும், எது நீங்கள் பேசினாலும், whatever you think, two consequences. Whatever you speak, two consequences. Whatever you do, two consequences. You have the choice. So you are doing, isn't it? When you do, you face the consequence. Why you blame God? Now, we have to think here. We have been given buddhi to control our manas, mind. So, we have to always be conscious that this monkey mind can come and tell us, don't do this, do that, don't do that, do this, don't do this, do that. So we always have to be conscious. So how can we always be conscious? Always say the name of God. Nama Smaranam. Nama means name. Smaranam means to be engulfed in it. To be completely soaked. You know, it's called Nitya Smaranam. Completely at all times. To be thinking of God. Because if you only think of God, then you'll only say good things. And if you're only saying good things, you'll end up doing good things. So if you're thinking, saying and doing good things, there's no chance for pavam to come. Pavam only comes when this and this is not doing the same thing. How many of us, you can reflect on yourselves, think one thing, say another thing, and do a completely different thing. Right? In the Yoga Shastras, it is said, you must have Traikarana Suddhi. Traikarana Suddhi means thoughts, words, and actions. Mahatma Gandhi also said that. He said, a truly harmonized man is one who has the balance of thoughts, words, and deeds. So it's not only the famous rishis or acharyas have said that, the great leaders. Abdul Kalam has said that many times. If you want to know whether you are a good person, think whether your thoughts, your words, and your actions are in alignment, he says. You take your car for wheel balancing, you take your car for alignment, but are you aligning your thoughts, your words, and your actions? That is the question. So Sugriva tells the story of what happened to him and Vali and why he's there. And he says, I can't do anything. I have to hide. So Rama says, how can I help you? See, Rama does not say he will do something. He will always ask. Like he asked Vishwamitra, he asked Vamadeva, he asked Gautama, he asked Siddharishi. All he asked, what do you want me to do? The same thing, Krishna in Mahabharata, he never told the Pandavas what to do, nor did he instruct the Kauravas what to do. He always said, this is your choice. What do you want? In fact, he called Duryodhana and he called Arjuna and he said, two choices you have. The war is definite. Yuddham Nichayam. Two choices. You can have me as your Parthasarathi, or you can have 1 million of my super army. Which do you want? And he doesn't ask Arjuna first. He asks Duryodhana first. Duryodhana says, you are Krishna. Your army must be as good as you, as powerful as you, as fantastic as you. Without thinking twice, he says, I will take your army of 1 million shakas. Arjuna says, my Lord, if I have you, who else do I need? This again, how do we apply that in today's life? We always have a choice. So the choice we make, if we totally can rely on God, total surrender to God, God will definitely be there for you. I told you one of the 108 names is Bhaktavatsala. He will never let you down. He will never let you down. It is because of your own mind, your own doubt, your own thoughts, your own words, your own actions, you are let down yourself. You are let down by yourself. Right? Then there is a story for that as well. One man was walking on the mountainside one day. Then he slipped. He slipped and he was falling from the mountain. As he was falling, he was shouting, Ayo, Krishna, Govinda, Madhava, Muruga, Shanmuga, all names he was calling. Somebody come and save me. Someone come. Then he hears a sound. Bhakta, let yourself go and let yourself fall, and I will catch you in my palms and make sure you are safe. அதாவது ஒரு திவ்ய குரல் கேட்டது. கவலைப்படாதே, நான் உன்னை என் கரத்தில் பிடித்து விடுவேன். தைரியமாக விழு. Man, he has asked God for help. God is responding, yes? But what is the man thinking? Is it really you, God? Is there anyone else up there? உண்மையிலே இது தெய்வ குரலா? வேற யாராவது இருக்கீங்களா மேல? என்ன? So many names God has got. நீங்க எந்த தெய்வத்தை எடுத்துக்கிட்டாலும் அஷ்டோத்திரம் இருக்கு 108 பேரு, திரிசதி இருக்கு 300 பேரு, சப்தசதி இருக்கு 700 பேரு, சஹஸ்ரம் இருக்கு 1000 பேரு. 1000 பேர்ல ஒரு பேரை கூப்பிட்டாலும் அவங்க வருவாங்க. Right? Gods have got 108 names, 300 names, Trisati, Saptashati, 700 names, and Sahasram, 1000 names. One name you can call, any name you can call, they will come. There's another story, how we don't call God by how we should call God. Shiva and Parvati were talking one day in Kailash, and Shiva looked at Bhuloka and he says, Parvati, look at that man, he's climbing the coconut tree, he's going to fall down and die now. Parvati says, quickly go and save him. He said, no. He must call. Then we go. No calling, no going. Calling coming, then you going. So Parvati then asks an intelligent question. How do you know who he is calling? Is he calling me or is he calling you? எப்படி அறிவீர்கள்? என்னை கூப்பிடுறார்களா இல்ல உங்களை அழைக்கிறார்களான்னு பார்வதி சிவனை கேட்கிறார். சிவன் சொல்றாரு, Shivan says, whatever name he calls that has a male sound refers to me. Appa, Annan, Tambi, Tata, anything that denotes the male sex, I will go. And likewise, anything that denotes the female sex, Parvati, you go. Okay, so they agreed. They are going to save him, but he must call them. Okay. But this joker, what does he shout when he is falling? He shouts, Ayyo! Ayyo is not male, Ayyo is not female. So he went Ayyo. Shiva didn't go, Parvati didn't go. That's why நம்ம பெரியோர்கள் முன்னோர்கள் என்ன சொல்றாங்க, ஐயோன்ற வார்த்தை சொல்லாத, நல்ல வார்த்தை இல்லை. முருகான்னு சொல்லு, சண்முகான்னு சொல்லு, தேவான்னு சொல்லு. You know, they say, don't say this word ayyo or chi. Say something that has got auspiciousness. Muruga, Swami, Sai Isa, Bhaktavatsala, anything you call, they will come. That is why our names, you look at our names. Brother, unga peru enna? Sethu Raman. We are talking about Rama. See? Brother, what's your name? Selva Kumar Muruga. Brother, what's your name? Kadirgamanathan. Aha. Vigneshwaran. So those days, our parents were very clever people, huh? Very clever. They were so busy raising a family, all their time went with their family, children, They named their children after the gods. So they don't have to go to temple. Daily they are calling, Ade Vigneshwara, Shanmuga. Daughter will be called Katyayani, Gauri, Parvati, Shatavadi. Yeah. So they are praying. Each time you call God's name, you are praying. Arindum mirkalam, Ariyamalum mirkalam. Ana punyam nichyamaga vandu serum. And the varthaya upayichikave. Because you've used that name, you will get the punya. Of course, Arindu seydal kuda punyam, Ariyama seydal koraja punyam. If you knowingly say something, then you will get the full fruits. If you unknowingly say it, you will still get fruits. Just percentage is reduced. That's all. Right? I said the story about a big acharya who was serving in the temple for a very long time. Now this is a story. And he, one day, whilst serving the God, he had a heart attack and he died and his soul was going up to Swargaloka. And I told you, when your soul goes upwards, there are 7 lokas. Bhuloka, Bhuvaloka, Subaloka, Mahaloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka and Swargaloka, Satyaloka. If your soul goes downwards, again there are 7 levels. 7 plus 7 is 14. That's why Rama had to serve 14 years to clear or to install Dharma again. Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Matala, Mahatala, Talatala and Patala. 7 levels. So the Brahmana's soul was going up. At the same time, he recognized the soul of a dog. This dog used to be outside the temple and it used to go around the temple looking for food. So technically it was doing parikrama. You know parikrama, right? Going around. Why do we go around? Why when we pray we go around the temple? Because when they do pradishtabhanaha, there's a lot of mantric vibrations, there's a lot of gems, stones, everything, yantras put in there, and every time they recite the mantra, every time they do abhishekam, there is a lot of energy, and the energy revolves like that. So you see the height of the Mulasthanam is always same like your Nabi. So when you stand, you will find that the Mulasthanam is actually there. So when you go around, you are attracting that divine positive energy through your Nabi so as to activate your Mooladhara chakra. So you go around like that. And at different points in time, there's different ways. அதான் கோயிலுக்கு வந்தால் சில விதிமுறைகள் இருக்கு. ஆனால் நாம் என்ன செய்கிறோம்? We don't follow it. That's the problem. We do not observe the rites and rituals in the temple. For example, this Dvajastambam, this is called Kodimaram in Tamil. சாஸ்திரப்படி யாருமே கொடிமரம் மென்னுக்கு விழுந்து சாமியை பிரதட்சணம் பண்ணக்கூடாது. சரணம். You can't. You have to do either at the Dvaja or behind the Dvaja. Because there is energies. If you do in front, you are obstructing the flow of energy. Right? The Dvajastamba, the Mulasthanam, and the top of the temple where they put the Kalasham, right? As a complete recycling of energies that goes around. So nobody should get in the way. Nobody should cross Garuda and walk. You come here one day and you stand with a paper and pen and you count how many people cross. And how many people don't cross. Don't cross section, maybe you get 1. Crossing section, maybe you get 100. If you're lucky, 150. You shouldn't cross. Same thing with any gods where the Vahana is facing, you don't cross, you go around. That is the right thing to do. You don't touch God with your hands. You touch God with your mind. Because in your mind, I can go into Tirupati Moolasthanam and touch Perumal's Padam there. Just by closing my eyes, I can transport myself there. But even if I go there physically, will they allow me inside to touch him? No chance. Now you know, certain temples you go, you cannot touch the gods, right? Why do you touch them where you don't have that security? Lack of discipline. Lack of discipline, and the mind is not matured enough. Just after Abhishekam, they will do all the mantras and purify that. You know why they do Abhishekam and purify the gods? I know I'm digressing, but this is very important. Because everybody comes and prays. Who is coming and praying to God, saying only 100% good things or positive things? எல்லோரும் நல்லா இருக்கணும், எல்லோரும் லட்சாதிபதியாக இருக்கணும், எல்லோரும் குரோர்பதியாக இருக்கணும், யாருக்குமே எதுவும் வியாதி இருக்கக்கூடாது, எல்லாரும் சந்தோஷமாக இருக்கணும், எப்பயுமே சந்தோஷமாக இருக்கணும், நித்திய சந்தோஷ பிராப்தி அஸ்து. யார் வேண்டிக்கிறா அந்த காலத்தில்? என் கடனை தீரு, என் வியாதியை எடுத்துக்கோ, என் இருமலை எடுத்துக்கோ, என் குஷ்ட நோயை எடுத்துக்கோ. அதெல்லாம் நம்ம பாதத்தில் போட்டு போகிறோம். அடுத்தவன் என்ன செய்கிறான்? சாமி சரணமையா, சரணமையா, சரணமையா. அப்போ அவனுக்கு என்ன எனர்ஜி போய் சேருது? அந்த நெகட்டிவ் எனர்ஜி தானே போய் சேருது. அப்புறம் 2 நாள் எனக்கு தலை வலிக்குதுப்பா, ஹாஸ்பிட்டலில் போனால் கேன்சர்ன்றாங்க. ஆமாம், யூ ஹேவ் டேக்கன் ஆல் த நெகட்டிவ் எனர்ஜி ஆஃப் சம் ஒன் எல்சஸ் and you expect you to be free of disease? Don't touch. Don't touch means don't touch. Don't ask why. Because when we explain the science behind not to touch, you don't understand. You continue to touch. So why do you ask? Touch and face the consequence. At least these guys are okay. Satvika Murtis. You go and touch Navagrahas. I tell you how you should pray to Navagraha. You should stand 1 feet from the stones, 1 feet, and go in circle. You can go once, 3 times or 9 times. It doesn't matter. 1 for each Navagraha. Without touching them. You touch them, they will come with you. If you stand beside somebody, right, you don't touch them, will they look at you? Will they talk to you? Yes or no? Come on, tell me. If you are standing beside someone, you don't see them, you don't touch them, you don't call them, will they talk to you? No. But if you touch them, what they will do? They will see you and they will talk to you. Yes or no? Yes. What more do you want me to say? How else you want me to say? Charanagati means totally surrender. What are you surrendering? Manasa bhajare guru charanam. Dusthara bhavasagara taranam. First surrender your mind. Manasa, mind. Bhajare, surrender. Guru, charanam. Charanam is different from sharanam. Charanam is feet. Sharanam is the act of giving something to the feet. Then what happens when I surrender the mind? Dustara bhavasagara taranam. Then I will take you across this ocean of life, samsara. We know it, we say it, we sing it, but we don't practice it. Anything that is not applied is in vain. So you go to a doctor, you say, I got this thing here. Doctor gives you a cream. You don't put the cream. You expect you to get cured. He gives you a tablet. You don't take the tablet. You expect yourself to get cured. No. You must do the right thing. Then you will get cured. Okay? So Rama, coming back to Rama, Rama promises to help Vali destroy. So they go and say, go and call him for a fight, and then you fight with him. I will shoot him. So first time Vali fights with Sugriva, Rama is waiting in the bushes. Sugriva is fighting, Vali is fighting, but Rama is not doing anything. Then they break, because Yuddha Dharmam means they start at sunrise and they finish at sunset. The next morning they start again. That is Yuddha Dharma. Even in war, they had righteousness. Today, in love, we don't have righteousness. How can in war we have righteousness? So, Sugriva went back and said, Rama, you're supposed to help me, but you didn't do anything. What happened? Rama said, I don't know who you and I don't know who Vali is. You look the same. Two monkeys, can you tell the difference? You can't, right? Like twins they looked. So Rama said, I didn't want to shoot the arrow in case I kill you, because you and your brother look same. Same. So Sugriva says, so what do I do? Rama says, tomorrow you go and fight him, but wear this garland. Rama puts a garland for him. So he knows who is he. Now at the right time, just before sunset, Rama takes out his arrow and he whispers the mantra. And he hits it in such a way that it pierces 7 trees, 7 maras, and then hits Vali with just enough space to pierce his heart. Such precision. So Vali falls down. He doesn't suffer much because his heart is pierced and he's dying. Vali calls Rama. He says, hey, you call yourself Rama. You are supposed to be Dharma Purusha. How can you hide behind the bush? You don't engage in war with me, yet you can shoot the arrow and kill me. Is this Dharma? He asks. And you are talking about Dharma. Rama says, who are you to talk about Dharma? He says, I am a Kshatriya. I am a warrior of the Raghuvamsa clan. Raghukula, Rajyam. I am the Kshatriya warrior. I am serving my king, Bharadaraj. And any adharma that happens in the kingdom, anywhere in the Ayodhya kingdom or Kausalya kingdom, I have the power to act, to correct the adharmic act. You have been adharmic. You have sent your brother. You have captured his wife. You have captured his son. And you are ruling with such terror. And you are talking about adharma? You don't talk about adharma. I have done my Kshatriya duty. The same thing he explained to Sita, why he is killing the demons. Because Sita says, the demons didn't hurt you. They are hurting the rishis. Why are you killing them? They didn't act against you. He said, Kshatriya dharma. Swadharma paripalanaha. That is my dharma. Therefore I have to do the right thing by my king. I am serving the king. Then Vali understood and he asks for forgiveness. And he says, look after my wife and my son. So Rama says, depart from your physical body and arise. Now, who is Vali in actual form? He is Lord Indra. So Indra arose and he went. They did the last rites for for Vali. His wife Tara, she could not take it. She called Rama and she says, I curse you, Rama. In your next life, the same Vali will kill you. If you are a very pure person, your purity level is vibrating at a sattvic level, whatever you say will come true. Even if you lie once, no point. If you have never lied in your life, and whatever you say will happen, 100%. That is why these people were so powerful. The rishis could just, if you look at Vashishta, if you look at Agastya, if you look at Vishwamitra, people were trembling just when they hear the name, because whatever they say will come true. They're such powerful Brahma rishis. So she said, you will die in the hands of this same Vali. So in the next life, what was Rama born as? Krishna. The next life, what was Vali born as? He was born as Jala. Jala the hunter. It is through the hunter that Krishna at last dies. So you see how she said something in Satya Yuga. Treta Yuga becomes true in Dwapara Yuga and is still happening in Kali Yuga. Yuga, yoga, yaga, yajna. Very necessary in this earth. Especially in times of Kali Yuga. 100%. So the same Tara was then consoled by Hanuman and given the right treatment, treated with respect, everything, right? Then Hanuman says, come to Kishkinda and do Rajabhishekam for Sugriva. Rama says, no. For 14 years, Vanavasa, I cannot step into any kingdom. But I will crown him here and you can go and do the rest of the procession there. Okay? So Sugriva was made king and Vali's son Angad was made Yuvaraja, crown prince. So after Sugriva, Vali's son will take over the kingdom, which is the right dharmic way. Right? Now, this is where Rama teaches Sugriva how to be a king. You must understand one thing here. Rama has never been a king. But yet he is teaching him the nuances of statesmanship. How to be king and behave in a king-like fashion. That is why the 7th avatar is known as the perfect avatar of a man. So the lesson for us is Rama, through his behavior, is showing man can be perfect. Because Rama was not born with any powers. He learnt everything. Just like we go to school, university, work, we are learning things every day. Rama learnt everything. But he had the right sort of help. Same thing, when we surrender, we'll get help. 100% will get help. 100% will get help. You surrender and see. And then you say, you know. So, they stayed then at the Pravardha mountains because it was onset of rainy season. For 4 months they couldn't do anything. So Rama told Sugriva to go, and Rama and Lakshmana rested in the Pravardha mountains. After the rainy season, Rama and Lakshmana were waiting, but Sugriva never came. So Rama sends Lakshmana, says, go and find out what is happening, you know. Now the rainy season has gone, spring is here, it's a good time to go and look for Sita. But in that period of 4 months, the suffering, the pangs of desperation, right? The extent of despondency and destitution that Rama faced was immense. You know, sometimes when the attachment is too much, I told you yesterday, satsangatvam nitsangatve, nitsangatvam nirmohatve, nirmohatvam nischalatatvam jivan mukti. You must detach yourself from your attachments to desires, moha vasanas. Then you can rise in spirituality. Okay? So Lakshmana goes and he threatens. He said, hey Sugriva, you promised my brother that you will look for Sita, and now you are enjoying this Raja Bhoga Valki, you know, this life of kinghood, complete comfort. You're in a comfort zone, you've forgotten your promise. With one arrow I will destroy this kingdom. Then Hanuman pacifies Lakshmana. He says, my lord, don't do that. Then Hanuman and Tara both go and tell Sugriva, go and enforce your promise. So Sugriva then comes, asks forgiveness from Rama, and he calls his entire troop and he says, you go north, you all go east, you all go west. Hanuman, Angad, Jambavan, Nala, Suprida, Dudushka, all of you go south. I give you 15 days, find Mother Sita and bring her back, or bring news of where she is. So the monkeys go in all directions. Searching. Nothing happens. Now Angad, who is Angad? Son of Vali. Correct? He is giving up now. He says, we have gone through almost every inch by inch. We cannot find Mother Sita anywhere in this forest. And he says, I cannot go and face Rama with this news. So Angad says, I better end my life here. Remember, they are all separated, right? If they were together, Hanuman would have prevented him. So Angad then goes into a cave. He says, I see a cave there. Let me go and end my life there. When he goes in there, he sees a lady meditating. She is a tapasvini. She is a rishi. She is called Swayamprabha. But she is blind. She is blind, but she can see in the dark. Oh, she has been gifted with the divine Jnana Drishti. So she tells Angad, why? And in the meantime, Hanuman, Nala, Jambavan all come and join him. So Swayamprabha says, I will take you all outside where you can continue this journey, right? But you must all close your eyes. You cannot see. So they all close their eyes. She is blind, but she leads them out from the cave outside, and they come to the end of Rameshwaram. In those days, one part of Rameshwaram is actually, mountain cave-like thing. So they come out there, and they are faced with the whole sea. And they are saying, oh my God, what do we do? So miles and miles of sea. And then they see this bird sitting there at one corner. They go close to the bird. That bird is Sampati. Sampati was Brihaspati, who came to help Narayana when Narayana took the form of Rama. Sampati is the elder brother of Jatayu. You know who Jatayu is, right? I told you about Jatayu. Sampati and Jatayu always, when they were young eagles, they always used to every day have a competition who can fly higher. One day Jatayu was flying so high and he was so close to the sun that he was going to be burned. Sampati went and opened his wings. So Sampati's wings got burnt. Therefore he couldn't fly. So he was just set there in the shores of Rameshwaram. And then Angad, Hanuman all go to him. And then Sampati introduces himself. He said, I am Sampati. You must have heard of my brother Jatayu. How is he and what is he? And then they tell him the story. And what a wonderful warrior Jatayu was. And Sampati is so happy. And Sampati says, I have been waiting here to meet you, to give you this news. Because I have got a boon, I can see far. Jnana Drishti. He says, Sita is being kept in Asokavanam, in Lankapuri by Ravana. But you must cross this ocean, you cannot go any other way. The moment he discloses that, his wings come alive, fresh, and he flies off to Swargalok. Then everybody is thinking, how are we going to go? We are just monkeys. We can jump from tree to tree, but we cannot jump from this island to that island. We can't even see that island. Then Jambavan says, Hanuman, come here. Jambavan takes Hanuman on top of the Vindhya hill. Vindhya is such an important hill because of this element. That is why the word Vindhya features in the Indian national anthem. Vindhya Himachala Yamuna Ganga Uchchala Jhalati Taranga. Vindhya, Himachala, Yamuna, Ganga. These are not simply written by somebody, Every single word in that national anthem has some connotation to historical events. And recently, Modi ji has released a stamp of Ramayana. You'll see all these stories in there. One stamp. Fantastic. So it's not a story, it's not Purana. That is why I told you on the first day, it is not Rama Katha, it is not Ramacharitra, it's Rama Ayanam, Ramayanam, Rama's way, Rama's method. Then Jambavan, who is actually Brahma, born as Jambavan, king of the bears, tells Hanuman who he actually is. And he tells him, you meditate here for 3 days. Meditate on the sun. And you will get all the knowledge that you have learned all these years that is suppressed because of your lack of disclosure. And Hanuman meditates. After 3 days, he realizes who he is. And he gets all this power and he grows. 100 yojanas becomes. If you look at Hanuman Chalisa, they actually tell you that he actually flew to the sun. Right? When I'm talking about Sundarakanda, maybe I'll mention that. Tomorrow, Sundarakanda, very important about Lord Hanuman. All about how once Hanuman leaps and goes to Lanka, what he does. So anyway, Hanuman grows to gigantic size and is prepared to jump. Right? But he says, before I do this, I must go and get permission from Rama. So he goes back to Rama and he says, we have found where Mother Sita is. Rama is overjoyed. But I'm going to go first and check it out. Then I'm going to come back and tell you, and then you can bring the force and declare war. And Rama takes out his ring and says, if you meet Sita, give her this. Otherwise, she will not believe you. But the moment she sees this, she will know who you are. I have sent you. At that point, Kishkinda Kandam ends. Tomorrow, we will talk about how Hanuman starts his journey. The Sundara Kandam is very important. You will see in the temples and all our elders, they always say, Valkela Kashtamaranda, Sundara Kandata Padiga. Read the Sundara Kandam because it will give you a lot of positive vibrations, positive thoughts. Positivity kills negativity. Then you become, positively vibrating. This is vibrations, right? We are all vibrating. The day we stop vibrating, that is death. Shivam becomes Shavam. Life becomes death. Okay, so Govinda Nama Sankirtanam, Govinda Hari Govinda. Ramachandra Gurira, Ramachandra Nadira, Ramachandra Ramachandra Gurira, Ramachandra Nadira, Ramachandra Nadira, Ramachandra Gurama, Ramachandra Jagannatha, Ramachandra Gurama, Ramachandra Jagannatha, Ramachandra Mama Bandho, Ramachandra Jaya Sindho, Ramachandra Mama Bandho, Ramachandra Jaya Sindho, Ramachandra Raghuvira, Ramachandra Nadira. Sanadira, Ramachandra Raghurama, Ramachandra Jagannatha, Ramachandra Raghurama, Ramachandra Jagannatha, Ramachandra Mama Bandho, Ramachandra Jaya Sindho, Ramachandra Mama Bandho, Ramachandra Jaya Sindho, Raghuvira Ranadira, Raghuvira Ranadira, Raghurama Parandama, Parandama, Raghunatha Jagannatha, Raghunatha Jagannatha, Mama Bandho Jaya Sindho, Mama Bandho Raghunatha Jagannatha, Jagannatha, Raghuvira Ranadira, Raghuvira Ranadira, Raghuvira Ranadira, Ramachandra Raghuvira, Ramachandra Janadhira. Govinda Nama Sankirtanam, Govinda Hari Govinda. Swasti Prajabhyam Paripalayantham Nyayena Marghena Mahi Mahishago Brahmanebhyo Supamastu Nityam Lokha Samastha Sukhino Bhavantu. Harihi Om Tat Sat Sri Narayana Arpanamastu.